opportunities, and empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, President Larry Ivan. Well. Good morning, Chicago. It is none other than the Wake Up Show Chicago. We want to thank you for joining us on this very beautiful Saturday morning, because any Saturday morning that your feet are hitting those ground or hitting the ground and you're breathing lung or breathing air in your lungs, let me get my stuff together. It's a good day. It's a very good day. So thank you so much for tuning in. It is the Wake Up Show Chicago. We are sponsored by Wind Creek Casino Southland. And we are so happy to be here another week. I know last week some people were wondering, right? You guys were like, where you guys at? Well, that's because we had just one off day, just because WVON had a live read, or should I say a live broadcast that kind of took precedence over our particular day. So we got a day off, at least I did. But thank you so much for tuning in. Larry Ivory, Dr. Larry Ivory is our founder and CEO, and he's also chairman of the board of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce and the National Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C. But today we're going to give you some updates. Speaking of, we're going to give you some updates when it comes to Washington, D.C. And we have one of our dear, or two of our dear members of the chamber that are joining us today, simply because there's some information that needs to get out to you guys, and they are the ones to give it to you. What can I say? With that being said, let me go ahead and quickly introduce Jason Frazier, who is the founder of iKan Creations. Um, iKan Creations, wow, there's something to be said about iCan Creations, simply because we know that you did our photo shoot or our photography at the conference that we had this year. And those of you that are watching us online, if you're having trouble seeing us, let me know, because I see a message saying that it's reconnecting as we speak. So I'm going to work on that. But I want to give Jason Frazier a chance to tell us about his business before we get an update from Washington, D.C., because I'm waiting on Gregg Willis. Tell us a little bit about your business
Indeed.
and what we can expect when we go to that website.
Indeed. That's if you look at it on the surface. But if you dig deeper, it's always geared towards something. People don't usually just want a picture to have a picture. They want to look good, even if it's, the most, basic form of photo. But we specialize in commercial photo and video. So that digs a lot deeper. It's telling us a brand's story, you know what I mean? Telling their story and helping them communicate to their audience, which is the most important thing that a company can do. It's often overlooked, but we make sure that it's done right. So commercial photo and video, on the surface, but gearing it toward ROI or brand awareness, because that's kind of what is most important when it comes to a company. People don't buy certain brands because it's necessarily better. They buy it because it's been marketed to them and they identify with the brand, whether it's Ferrari or Cadillac or a Rolex, or even something as simple as Starbucks. What I'm drinking now, you probably can get better coffee up the street, but what justifies Starbucks to be able to charge a premium for their coffee? It's marketing and brand. You trust the brand because of the marketing and the story behind it, and you're familiar with it. So, it's sometimes it's a battle, but my goal is always to communicate to businesses that the importance of this, because a lot of times it's overlooked. They'll spend tons building out a studio or location, and then they'll barely tell people that they exist. So, I often relate it to their lights and water, whatever lights, light bill and water bill, whatever the necessities are, you need to add marketing, and within it. And then in order to even market it, you need content. That means photo and video. Video is kind of leading these days. So when you go to the website, the first thing you'll see is um, our hero section, which is like a flagship collection of videos at the top of the page. And that's from different commercials we've shot. Even you'll see the videos from the chamber. You on there looking stellar as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah, you got me on my good day with my braids, and my baby hair. Even though I'm too old to have baby hair,
It's
it was
hey.
popping for some reason.
Still, yeah, I'm like, I should get this baby here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
And I'm gonna bring in Dr. Erica. Thank you so much for giving us that introduction while I got our technical situation straight. That was perfect. You know what you're doing. But yeah, I definitely want to bring Dr. Erica Blakely into the fold here, simply because she is also a member of the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. And just tell us a little bit about you, Dr. Erica Blakely, because I can go on and say you're the founder of Black Zenith Hub, NFP, and there's more to tell, but why don't you give us the introduction?
Thank you, Miss LaDonna. Can you feel
Your sound is a little bit jaded there.
we okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
know it's the next week.
Yeah. It's hard to hear you. So I'm gonna send you the phone number. Do you have the phone number to the station? Dr. Erica, if you can hear me, go ahead and call the station. We'll let you in via phone. All right, guys. So just basically I wanna circle back to the content that you spoke about, Jason Frazier, simply because a lot of these businesses out here, AI is so prevalent everywhere.
Hmm.
And I think I've heard it more often than not that, oh, I could just get AI to do it.
Hmm.
But that, of course, it sounds easy, but it's
Hmm.
not. AI becomes an appendage of what you need as far as,
Are you able to hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you.
That's much better.
You can hear it too?
Yes, it's much better.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, got you. All right, so it's an appendage of what you can do daily. You can use
Hmm.
those.
Okay.
But you talked about the content, and Dr. Erica Blakely is here to talk about the the mission. Okay, Erica, go ahead. Dr. Erica Blakely, please continue. Can you hear me, Erica?
We lose her
Yeah, it's
again.
something on her end. Yep, she's gonna have to call us. All right, so we're gonna continue. So with the content that you were able to capture,
Hmm.
number one, we saw your portfolio. You had captured an Asian event,
Hmm.
and I was under the I didn't know who was capturing what. It didn't
Hmm.
matter. It was stellar.
Oh yes.
And it was definitely something that the chamber needed to let everybody know exactly what we're doing. Because a lot of times you get caught up in what's going on and you don't necessarily have the wherewithal to project what has happened in the past.
Hmm.
The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce has been around since 1997. And that has been a challenge for most people to grasp because we just keep doing what we're doing.
Hmm.
Gone are the days of, simply knowing this, and by default you have to have the information. People want to know what you've done, and we, with lobby day even coming up, we want people to know what it is that the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce does. But when you came out to the conference, you were able
Is
to
that any better
capture
now?
everything that
Hmm.
was going on at the conference so that we can then push it for next year.
Yes, indeed.
And how important is that? Because AI can't do that for you. You
No,
you use it, as an
it's
assistant,
a tool.
as a tool, but not as the rule.
Oh, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I compare AI to, people. A lot of people fear AI. It's going to take over. It's going to do this and that.
Hmm.
And I said it can't do much without human intervention, and and not well, especially if you need to cater to whatever you're doing. So it's no different than going from I don't know, screwdrivers to power drills. It's a more advanced tool to get the job done faster.
Yeah.
So but with capturing the event, I already had in mind that how it needed to be told in a way that let people know what the chamber really is, because even as I learned more of what it is, I realized that it wasn't I didn't get that right away. I'm like, okay, so it's something's missing in the, in the content to let people know what the chamber is, what it can do. Because I learned to love it, quickly. You know what I mean? Once I, learned about it, but I assumed it was something that, had nothing to do with me, just as a regular person or business owner. I'm thinking this is, some government stuff, whatever the case is. But as I dug into it, I'm like, oh, this story needs to be told in a way that relates to, the general public, everyday business owners, and, sometimes even just individuals, in a search of the job market or whatever the case is, because, businesses and employment go hand in hand,
Yeah.
if you will.
Where can people find your information if they wanted a photographer, a videographer, and so on and so forth? Because I want you to do some stuff here too.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
putting it out there.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And I'm ready. I'm ready.
And by here, I mean WVON.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm aware. But they could definitely check me out on the website. That's iKan, or iKan, IKAN creations.com. That's IKAN CREATIONS.com. And the phone number will be there as well. And I'm quick with the response. But if you need brand storytelling, company commercials, whether it's for the internet, your website, or Super Bowl commercial, event coverage, photo and video, headshots on site, um, recaps, or full broadcast,
Mhm.
or retainer, monthly retainer content. If you're a company that needs, regular content, or
Ooh.
influencer, you need it regularly, and you just want it produced, and you don't want to have to worry about that part.
I'm getting some ideas
Yes,
here.
indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, and that's more important than most people realize, because it's often there's no instant gratification for it.
Right.
So they, like I said, it's overlooked, but it's so important in today's day and age, because out of sight, out of mind. So,
Mhm.
keeping something, content wise in people's face, and then monetizing it. So I'm not saying, hey, let's just make a bunch of cool looking videos. How can we gauge the ROI directly? So, and it's measurable. What I mean, we're going to produce this amount of content. This is how you're going to use it and put out there, and make sure your offer is clear so that you can get an ROI. Some people, I've had companies put out photo, video, and all this stuff. They don't even have a clear offer, and it's like, oh, it's not working. I was like, well, people don't even know what they're buying.
Right. What are you doing?
They don't know what they're buying. They come
Right.
to your site, and it's like, oh, it's cool, and it's like, well, what do we do? So people need clear call to actions, and that has to be built into the content.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys, if you're on Facebook Live, let me know if you can hear us, because I see a message that says we can't hear you guys now. So something happened. I want to know what that was. And also, I see a new comment. Let me see. This does include, okay, I think that you guys can hear us just fine now. So, we wanted to give you that member spotlight.
Hmm.
You joined the chamber, and here you are.
Yes, indeed.
Membership has its benefits, as I always say.
100%. 100%.
And
Go ahead.
and I was gonna say, when you came into the fold, you didn't know what to expect. You thought
No.
we were just a whole nother chamber, just dropping, go ahead and sign the contract.
Right.
You'll just, capture and create and then,
Yep.
deliver. But here you are,
Yes, indeed. I
and
had
Larry
no
speaks
idea.
highly of you.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yep,
Mhm.
I've heard, and he's spoken highly, to me as well. So
Yeah.
that's much appreciated. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what to expect, and I also didn't expect much, and I was also rude awakening, in a good way,
Yeah.
because it's been really great. The advocacy has been overwhelming, to an extent. Like, I didn't really expect much, and I figured it would, this is the event, we'll film it, I'll film it, take photos, I'll turn it in. Everybody loved it, and that's that. But no, Larry was on top of it, and like literally on top of it. You'd have thought he was like my manager or something. He's like, yeah, we got to do this next, and yeah, we're going to talk to this people. I'm setting up this meeting, and this, that, and other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But that comes from being a member.
mhm.
Has your phone rang more
Yeah, definitely.
since becoming
Yeah,
a member?
even meetings. I just had a meeting with one of the sponsors, Wintrust, for doing their events, and
Yeah.
it not only has my phone ring more. I've had more calls pertaining to exactly what I do, with Larry initiating it. So
Yeah.
he's taking time out of his day, his
Larry and
schedule.
his team.
Yeah,
We don't wanna
right,
wear
right,
him
right. Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right, for sure. But he'll call and say, "Hey, I'm about to get this person on the line. Let's talk to him. Let them know what you do." I'm about to, he's like I said, you would have thought, I got a manager or something,
Right.
but
And that's what the chamber is all about.
mm-hmm,
And I want to just let everybody know, if you're thinking about becoming a member, part of our family, because now
mm-hmm.
you're part of our family.
Yes, indeed.
Make sure you go to ilbcc.org. If you have a business, if you're thinking of starting a business, if you have a business that you don't know what to do with, if you're thinking about selling your business or just having trouble in your business,
Mm-hmm.
I got somebody right now that owes me less than $1,000, but that's my money.
Right.
Right.
Guess
Let me
who I'm
get
gonna
it.
have call him? Larry.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Uh, you already know, Dr. Blakely. But this is, that's where it starts.
Yes, indeed.
Having that hybrid team
Yep.
behind you so that you don't have to do it alone. There's a lot of solopreneurs. And Dr. Blakely, I know you're going to jump into some accessible information that
Mhm.
gives you more power as a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur. Jason, can you stick around with us for a
Oh, yeah,
while?
sure thing.
All right. You may as well. You had to pay for parking.
Right.
Yeah.
We got 3 hours. Why not, right?
Why
Mm-hmm.
not? Why not? All right, Erica, Dr. Erica Blakely, welcome to the show. You got your technicals all in order now. I
So,
wanted to make sure. It's funny. I don't know if I'm hearing you through the headphones or if I'm hearing you through the speakers.
I think I'm
oh,
hearing it more so.
Up there.
Yep.
That's what it
I
is.
hear you through here.
Uh-huh. I knew
I'm
something
not
was
sure if I
wrong.
hear her
Yeah,
through
let's
here.
fix that. I gotta fix that. So Dr. Erica Blake, there it is. That's where
okay, though.
that's the problem. Yep, I got you
Perfect.
now.
Perfect.
There we are.
Oh, yep, there it
Look,
is.
I know your settings, people.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
If you're trying to do a podcast or go live, know your settings.
100%.
Shapira's doing a phenomenal job for us on the board, but together on our streaming, we use EV Mux. On the streaming, we have to have it all in sync. So now we're all together. It's working. Dr. Erica Blakely, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Now, please tell us a little bit about Black Zenith Hub, NFP, so that we can bring it into the fold of how you're working with
Yeah.
the chamber.
So, I am a licensed CPA. I'm a senior finance executive with over 2 decades of experience helping public companies. But what I have done is started Black Zenith Hub, really making financial clarity accessible for the everyday entrepreneur. I think that the what I consider the Black solopreneur, they're not just building and running businesses, but they're really carrying purpose. So we want to make sure we support them through that.
I've actually changed the spelling of solopreneur.
Tell me about that.
I've changed it to SOUL. Preneur.
Oh, come
Yes,
on.
ma'am.
Mm.
See, you
Solo.
about to get us in church this morning, LaDonna.
I'm telling you, because it means two things. It doesn't just mean you're black. It means that you're putting your heart and soul into your business. And that's really what it takes to have a successful business. By listening to you, Dr. Blakely, I've come to you about some questions about accounting and bookkeeping, and that's really where you pull the curtain back. But in your sense of the matter of working with the chamber, how are our members able to benefit from this marriage, if you will?
So what we have done, Black Zenith Hub and the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, we have combined to create a program that we're calling CPA Access Hub. Because let's be clear, Black people have never had a lack of idea or hustle. We've just had lack to access to things, lack to the access that gives us the clarity education without being exploited or outpriced. That's been our challenge there. So what we've
Mhm.
created is that CPA Access Hub, where we give the solopreneur, whether you're making $500 or $1,000 a month, because I think people don't realize less than, well, 6% of entrepreneurs will ever make it to six figures, right? So we want to support that 94%. Not put on pressure for you to grow big and all of those things, because I think we all know you need chiefs and Indians, right? So
Yeah.
I think we want to make sure that you understand that five, six, $700 a month changes your life, whether it's a better school, better house, better healthcare. It matters. So we want to give you the stability and the clarity to grow in confidence there. So that's why this is so awesome. Dr. Larry and I talked about what do we do for that. So for a small fee, you get bookkeeping, you get training, you get free tax preparation, you get community. all of those things that you're going to pay thousands of dollars for 30-minute appointment every tax year or tax time for somebody around the block to talk to your uncle about something you don't even know what's happening in your business.
Yeah. And that's scary because I think there's a lot of things that we have to unlearn, including what you don't know will hurt you.
Mhm.
Okay. It will, you need to learn that what you don't know will hurt you, Dr. Blakely.
And I
And
think that learning part, I think how many of us really have like a community of business people that we can really go to for help and answers and support, and we don't. So Black Zenith Hub and the Illinois State Chamber of Commerce, we've created that for them so that solopreneurs don't feel isolated. So they have community because community changes things.
absolutely, it does. It still takes a village, guys, to raise the child, and the
Come
child
on.
is your business. So make sure you guys give us a call, 773-591-1690. We want to hear from you because there's a lot of solopreneurs out there, and you don't be afraid to pick up the phone because we're going into the new year, 2026. Those of you may not have all your expenses, you feel like you can just remember them off the top of your head. When I was in my 20s, yeah, but now there's so many things that I don't recall that I've spent money on that was for my business.
Right.
And money management struggles. Though those come up quite a bit. I mean, if you're bad with money at home, you're gonna probably transfer that over to your business as well.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
can you open and enlighten us on how to address this access? Because the access to your hub, gives us a community of other business models and ideas and platforms and, should I say, strategies. And because of the strategical access, how can that better support someone who is not knowing where to go, where to start, where to finish?
I think everybody runs into an LLC. Is that really what you need? I'm a big advocate of not doing stuff or not spending money for things that you don't need. But I do think that, let's just say, for instance, you have a business and you are taking a skill or a passion, making money off of it. And with the state of our economy, things are increasing, prices are changing, the tariffs, all of these things. But if you knew in April that your this particular item was increasing in price, you would have time to pivot and go find a different resource or a different buyer or supplier for that. If you knew in June that you might end up owing money because you're taking too many withholdings at work, you have time to pivot. So our idea is to figure out what's going on all throughout the year so you have the better knowledge and the information to make those decisions on when you need to pivot, when you need to change. We don't want to get people in the mindset. I don't want people in the mindset of what's the most refund I can get. No, what's the less I can pay? Let me keep my money throughout the year. And knowing what's happening in your business all along the year helps you do that.
Well, I I think that's a mic drop. Knowing what's going on in your business throughout the year. Do you think that we take a lot of time, because I've taken on clients that didn't even have a business plan and they've been in business for years.
Hmm.
Do you think that we take on the passion of running a business, but the business ultimately ends up running us?
Oh, absolutely. I think that, so I'm not an advocate of everybody needing a business plan, but everybody needs a plan. It doesn't have to be this long drawn out, because again, we're talking about the 94% of people that will never be six figures, which is
Mhm.
okay. I need people to be okay with that. Stop letting people talk you into you're going to make thousands of dollars and leave your job and all these things. Keep your job, baby.
But I
Keep
thought
your
that was the goal, Dr.
Not all
Blakely.
the
I mean,
time. Not all the
everybody,
time.
why even get into business? I mean, we want the job that's paying the most. And when we feel like we're underappreciated, we start a business so that we can pay ourselves the most. But you're saying that we may not always get the most
Well,
while
again,
doing the most?
statistically, only 6% of businesses make it to six figures. So does that 94% not get service or not get
Mhm.
the knowledge and access? $1,000 a month will change your life. That doesn't get you off your job, but it still changes your life. So I think that we will people get there? Yes, but the majority of them don't. And that's just the reality. Sometimes it's just about giving your children options in school. Sometimes it's about you need better health care, a better car, a better house. You need to change your family story. It's not always about the money or the leaving the job, because your job gives you stability. Let's build on that. Nobody gets to financial freedom off of one sense of it, one place.
Well,
So,
you said it gives you security, but 300,000 Black women lost their jobs in the past 7 months.
girl,
Where's
girl,
their security, right? So, that
listen,
leads me to my
listen.
that leads me to my question to you, Dr. Blakely, because with you working with so many, or should I say with thousands of small business owners, what are you seeing in our community right now that's pushing our people to solopreneurship?
The lack of respect in corporate America, the lack of equality in corporate America, um, the lack of value from corporate America.
Mm, yeah.
I think
That
those
that value piece is strong.
have just as much, if not more, education and talent than our um, counterparts that don't look like us. Yet we don't get paid the same. Pay equality is still a thing, not just amongst Black people, but amongst women. It's still a thing. But we have to work harder to get there, to gain the respect and all those things. So that's the challenge in corporate America.
Yeah. Well, you're always dropping this gem. Our people aren't lacking talent. We're lacking access. So for every hustler, okay, I don't mean like the guy that was selling the gold watches. For some reason, that's where my mind goes. When I think about
Hustler.
hustlers, I think about the guy in the trench coat.
Street corners.
Oh yeah.
Right. Right. I don't even think about the drug dealers because to me they're the best business people. But
Baby, listen.
real talk. All right, but for every hustler listening right now, juggling life, business, family, what does that lack of access usually look like?
In my mind, it looks like, you know, that person doesn't have a team of consultants. You don't have a CFO running the business or operations person. So this partnership that we have with the Illinois State Black Chamber gives you all of that in a group, in a community of like-minded people, that gives you not just your CFO. So we're your kind of side hustle CFO. We also give you the orientation or the organization skills that you need. We give you access to that. So we have two levels to the program that we've developed. One gives you those basic things I've talked about. We have a second level that's a few dollars more that gives you access to um, legal options for people who need that as well. So we cover whether it's your trust for your family or wills or business things that you need. We give you all of those things.
You know,
So
it's funny you mentioned legal options because I think about like we have an attorney that comes on our show every week. And the things that he talks about, Ted London, and
mhm.
the things that he talks about are things where you go, "Oh my gosh," it's almost like being locked up.
Yeah,
Okay, like
yeah,
if you got locked up and you did something wrong, you will play over and over in your head the day that you made that choice, wishing you had made a different choice. The same thing happens in the legal system when it's that's one of those things you don't need all the time, but when you do, you wish you had it.
correct,
You know
correct,
what I'm saying? So when people
correct.
say, "Imma call my lawyer," those
Hmm.
are well, not I'm not talking about the bourgeoisies or the ones that,
Right.
wanna sound like they're gonna make a phone call, but I'm talking
Exactly. I'm
about
on the
those.
phone with my lawyer right now.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're on the phone with AI. But if I'm talking about those people that have a relationship with an attorney that has represented their family and gotten to
Mhm.
know them and can honestly represent them as if it were them. It's funny you say that, but that's something that we need to really understand, that we need to jump in the preventative mode versus the reactive mode every time because society is really making money off of our reactive modes.
Yeah.
Even Jason said yes.
They are.
you know? Stop, waiting until you need one. It's like
Yeah.
I rather have it than not need it than to need it and not have it. Um, do you because of this gap and you've created this CPA Access Hub and you build it specifically for folks who are working full time, making the extra 700 to $1,000 a month and then putting it on the side. Am I saying that correctly? So with this model, why is this model so different from a traditional setup? And I know you explained a little bit about it, but when people think about an extra anything, I think of all the ways to blow extra money because of what we have been surrounded by and presented with and marketed to. You know what I'm saying? So instead of taking that extra money and looking at it that way, are you changing the mindset of what to do with extra money?
That's the idea. Like, we created this partnership with Illinois State Black Chamber because I keep seeing brilliant Black solopreneurs that are working full time, raising families. They're building something meaningful with little guidance. People are losing money because they're being taken advantage of
Mm.
simply because no one has explained the rules to them. So we wanted to make sure we gave them the community, clarity, support, and access that changes those outcomes. So the CPA Access Hub, it levels that playing field. It gives the entrepreneurs a safe space to grow, to understand, and community to help one another because community helps you go fast.
Oh, what's that proverb? If you want to go, I know,
Go
right? Every time I try to think of it, what is it?
along, go far together. Is that it? Or is the
Yes.
other way?
Yep. Something like
Yeah,
that.
say it again because I spoke over you.
No, is that it? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Is that how
Yep.
it
Yes,
is?
That's it.
Okay.
that's it
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Carla Neal is on our social media. She says, yes, heart and soul. And I'm assuming she's saying, yeah, put your heart and soul into it. Let's see. We had someone else that said, I love Dr. Erica Blakely. I don't want to miss out on that. You'll see it.
My peeps.
That is Mahogany. She says, yes, Dr. Blakely, love her. You got a whole fan club out there.
Girl, I put it out to my people and they showing up.
That's
Miss
what I'm talking
Carla Neal is probably one of the leaders in network marketing. And I think people, so for her to even be listening, I'm honored.
that I'm honored as well. Thank you very much. And then Mike said, now I don't know if this is relevant. Mike said, solution. Mike, we switch black to a third political party. I keep seeing that tossed around.
Yeah.
And I don't even think there's two political parties, to be honest with you. But we're
Ugh,
not gonna get into that. I think it's all one big party. It's the you know what the
like,
GDP stands for, right? Or is it
yeah,
the GOP?
yeah,
GOP. That's what it
yeah,
is. The
yeah,
grand old party, right?
yeah.
And then she says, does this Mahogany says, does this include our social media platforms as well? I believe so. She's
I think
asking,
if is she asking, maybe is it including helping understand how to run them or
yeah,
something?
I
So
believe so.
yeah, so I think under this we have training for marketing, we have training for operations, we have of course the financial education, we have legal things, and because we are a nonprofit organization, we are planning to bring in external companies to kind of help and train our people as well. So it won't just be me. I was a professor and all of those things, but it won't just be me. We have
I
a
love
big
it.
array of people that'll be coming in to help build our entrepreneurs. And I think it's important to make sure that people understand the cost of this program is less than half of what you're going to pay for your 15-minute appointment with the data entry people around the block.
I have a
Mm.
quick question for her.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
My question is, as a statement and then the question, because there's a plague of misinformation
Uh-huh.
for most solopreneurs that they have to do everything.
Yeah.
So with a program like yours, where you're willing to train them, would they need to learn and then teach their team, or are they able to bring a team member or two they would like to delegate that task to and train them?
So if you have access to, like, let's say it's one of our trainings or whatever we're doing, if that is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we have access to the training. Like, could it
Yeah.
be for
So
my
we
social
have
media?
we have a facility here in the Chicagoland area in Bolingbrook, but we will also be doing those trainings remotely. So if you need to bring a team member even to an in-person training, that's fine. You can delegate those things for sure.
Do you do remote training as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to say bowling. Well,
No, absolutely. No, that's a great point because we have members that are across the country. So that is, and what we did a couple years ago is we literally did kind of an on the road show. Like we went to different cities and did major trainings where we had big groups of people at. So I want people to realize we can still do that, and we do like an in-person intensive and go over some things, and you walk out of there really empowered. So that's
I
something that
love
we're
it.
going to look into doing again for 2026.
Well, speaking of empower, we got Steve on the line. Hey, Steve, you're live on the Wake Up Show Chicago.
Yes, I want to make a few points. I think this is invaluable because this is an opportunity to utilize resources such as online learning and that sort of thing, because we're no longer relegated to you have to get to a class that's an hour away from where you live in order to avail
Right.
yourself of these opportunities. Also, the previous statement with regard to creating a party that would be black, yeah, I mean, even if you would assume that every single African American in Chicago would vote for a party that was made up of people who were African American, which is ridiculous. It's not going to happen. African Americans are now at their lowest point in terms of the numbers of population in Chicago that they've been in 75 years. So,
Right.
exactly what kind of political power would that exude? We are far from the days of Harold Washington, when African Americans were almost half the city. So now they're the smallest group between Caucasians, Hispanics, and African Americans. I'm not counting Asians and so forth. So this idea that we're going to create a party along racial lines, even assuming everyone would vote for it who's a member of that group, it doesn't mean that you're going to get anywhere with regard to politics. And additionally, compared to what? The other parties that are extremely well funded? I mean, who would fund this?
All right. Thank you, Chris. Chris. Thank you,
Steve,
Steve.
Steve, we're gonna have Steve back on the show when we talk about like that second party, if that ever happens on political side.
All right.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Steve.
I did have to look up the population. It looks like as of recent estimates of the city of Chicago, there are approximately 769,000 and 381,000 Black or African American residents. Back in 1980, though, our population was 1.1 million.
Wow,
Yeah. So,
we've migrated out of the city.
well, I hope so. I hope we I
Right,
hope that's where we went, okay?
right.
Because, we hear all of the violence that happens in Chicago, and sometimes that is, there's a spotlight on the violence so that people move a certain way. So,
Well,
always
I agree with that. And you know what? You know what I think that big migration was is when they tore down the projects.
you mean that you think they left Chicago because of
No,
that?
they absolutely because they moved Section 8, moved these people out to all these suburbs. When they tore down the projects, that's you. I mean, they tore down all of them. So those were all of your people, our
That
people.
is part of it.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I
You
agree.
know, LaDonna, I wanted to. I know we're talking about like it's year end. So what are people thinking about? Everybody's focused on Christmas, but now is the time still to think about like your business before the end of the year. What are those things that you need to start to gather and think about? One of the things I want people to change their mindset is to stop thinking about what somebody else said they can do and write off or what they
Mm.
wrote off. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the thief the thief of
Of
clarity,
truth.
of truth. Yes. Let's take for instance, like you I'm sure you've seen people in higher levels. They, somebody writes off a yacht. You got two realtors, right? That and she writes off a yacht. If I'm in Florida and I'm selling real estate on the coast where there is a reason for me to take my clients on a yacht and go, I can justify that. If I am in Chicago in the suburbs and I think I'm gonna write off a yacht because a realtor, my cousin friend realtor did the same thing, no. So the two rules are it has to be um in the course of your reasonable in the course of your business. That's it. Like reasonable in the course of your business. Just because you're both realtors, those are the same. But one location they talk about, not just in purchasing, but also in things that make sense to write off. So I think I want people to stop thinking about what somebody told them to do, Don't go run and get an LLC because you think that's what you need. We're talking with Dr. Larry about even having a corporate structure class for the chamber,
Oh,
starting in January, so people understand what those things look like. We're going to be bringing some of these classes to the chamber as well. So if you are not part of the CPA Access Hub, make sure you are part of Illinois State Black Chamber, because we are going to be doing some things with them on a regular basis too. This partnership has come because of the Illinois State Black Chamber. So I
I mean,
wanted to talk about
it
that.
just makes sense. It just makes sense. Guys, let's go ahead and just want to reset and let everybody know what they're listening to. The Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce brings you the Wake Up Show each and every Saturday at 9 a.m. and we get off the air at about 10 a.m. With that being said, we are powered by and sponsored by Wind Creek Casino, Chicago Southland, which is located in East Hazel Crest, right there on Halsted. I went there and celebrated my birthday back in February.
Oh,
No need, but we had our conference there,
it was
beautifully
amazing.
catered. It was amazing, absolutely. Along with that, we are grateful to WVON 1690 for allowing us to have a voice on the platform that's been around since the 60s. But I want to kind of pivot to some updates in Washington. Give you about 5 minutes of updates with our dear
Mhm,
friend
yes.
Gregory Willis with Phoenix Strategies. Hi, Greg. Well, how's it going in Washington?
Hey,
Look,
how's it going?
it,
How's it going? How's it going? How y'all doing?
look. All
Hey,
we've
Greg.
been thinking about and hearing and repeating is shut down, shut down, shut down. Well,
Right.
now I'm putting it in air quotes. It's over.
That's probably the right way to do it. Put it in air quotes.
Yeah.
There's a January 30th deadline. They did what's called a CR, continuing resolution, that funds us through the end of January. And but on the bright side, it looks like they're going to work through the remaining appropriations bills. They've already started. They passed 3 appropriations bills to fund those agencies for the next year, and they're working really quickly to try to finish all that up. Usually, they get that finished by the middle of December, so we'll see if they go beyond that.
Okay.
So that's I don't know that I'm hopeful that we're not going to have a repeat of what happened for 43 days previously, which, quite frankly, the deal that was cut, they could have done that after a day. They didn't have
Right.
to wait 43 days to do that.
All right,
So,
do you think the government is also trying to get likes and shares? I'm just
The government or one particular party of the person of the government.
well, sometimes I just don't understand how the politics, people can't see the politics.
Mm-hmm.
They had, Democrats had made a really good case about healthcare costs, and at the same time, people were getting those updates for what their premium was going to be for the next year. So it was hitting home in a very personal way. And then they just kind of let that go
Right.
for a vote that they're probably going to lose. So I don't understand why we went through 43 days for that. On the other side of it, I understand that Democrats might want the issue for the next year, so let's not fix it now. Let's wait and run on that for the midterms.
Yeah.
So there's that as well.
It's almost it's sickening, but I'll let you continue because we have only a couple of more minutes.
So other than that, again, we're working through the appropriations process. We're going to get through that. The politics in DC it looks like it's changing after this midterm, mid-year election, and Democrats winning, pretty much sweeping everything that they ran on. It makes it begins to signal to Republicans that Trump is a lame duck. And so you saw with Marjorie Taylor Greene deciding to leave Congress. She's basically, we were talking the other day, she's like a canary in the coal mine. They know that basically their political prospects, their electoral prospects are not as good. So you might see some people who are actually willing, and on the Epstein vote, we saw it, that people are willing to kind of cleave themselves away from the current president. We'll see what that means for the next 12 months, whether it's going to be easier or harder for us to get anything done. But we're at that point now where I think people are starting to move away from him. At least that you see the cracks.
Yeah, I saw it. Well, it just my own observation. It appeared that many people were repositioning themselves not just recently, but since his election, since he took office. And so his lame duck status may have started even before or even before now.
So the one thing we gotta that may be true, but here's what we gotta remember. I think that I look at it as politics and policy, right? So after he got the one big beautiful bill, they really didn't need him anymore.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
He has pretty much done everything that they wanted and needed him to do. So this is a very utilitarian place.
Wow.
If you're no longer really useful, what else can he do? What else legislatively can they get done? Probably not very much. But now that his utility is, and he is not an electoral force anymore, he doesn't move the needle. He doesn't help bring out certain voters for them anymore. They're upset with him too because they're hurting. Their pockets are hurting. So now it's time to pivot away from him. And that's just what it is.
Yeah. Well, Gregory, thank you so much for that update. Don't cheer yet, people. I know you're hearing what is being said, but this is not a celebration just yet. You still have to do diligent. We still have to take on the responsibilities as taxpayers, as voters,
Right.
and as citizens of this country, no matter how jaded it might seem. Gregory, thank you so much. And you guys are doing some great work at Phoenix Strategies.
We are a full service lobbying firm here in Washington, D.C., and we are working with a number of clients to advance business interests for individual companies as well as for associations. So we're here to serve you in whatever way we can.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. I had the pleasure of having lunch with Aisha Mills. Yeah, when she was in Chicago. So that's my girl now,
Outstanding.
All right. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. We're going to wrap the show. Thank you so much, Gregory.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now. All right, Erica, Jason, I want you guys to have the floor. Erica, please close it out on your end with some of the big companies and corporations you've worked with.
Okay, thanks for asking. My clients have been places like Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, Delta Airlines, Home Depot, Wintrust. So we have a big partnership with a lot of different companies. So Turner Broadcasting, which owns HBO, which is owned by AT&T. So you've either shopped at, watched, cruised at, flew on something that I've worked with. So I want you guys to understand the power of what we bring to this partnership with the Illinois State Black Chamber. So if you want information about that partnership and about that program, you can visit blackzenithhub.org. That's blackzenithhub.org. And we are looking extremely forward to all of the things that we're going to be able to bring to the Black entrepreneurs with this partnership with the Chamber.
All right. Thank you. And Jason Frazier, some big names you've worked with?
Let's see. We'll start with Sam Logistics. We'll go with Holy Cow Productions, Monaco Cocktails, Crumble Cookie, to name some of the more notable names here in Illinois, and a lot of small businesses, because I think they are more so the driving force and the ones who need more of the help. But the goal is to help them all, big or small. So if you need help with anything, or even just changing your branding, because a lot of people don't realize that your introduction is often your headshot. Sometimes people
say it again.
You go on their LinkedIn or their profile, and it's some picture of them on the couch hanging out, and it's like, okay, who you want to take you serious?
Right.
So getting that headshot and that branding updated is the first step. So, getting something done as simple as your headshots, I encourage everyone to do. And of course, we do it. If you need help, reach out. Yep. So company commercials and everything I stated, they're on the website.
All right.
Jason, one quick thing. That question about social media was for you, so I don't know if you can address it to Miss Mahogany after.
All right, cool beans. All right, guys,
Okay,
we
sure
have
thing.
just 1 minute left. I know that I need some new headshots because I'm
Yes,
rocking
indeed.
and rolling. But I want to thank everybody for rocking with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce on the Wake Up Show Chicago. I literally have to dash out of here to get to the senior breakfast at the House of Hope, so I'm like running. Okay, but
Yes,
you guys
indeed.
know you can check us out each and every Saturday at 9 a.m. That's 9 a.m. Central. Whether we're talking about policy, purpose, businesses, real life challenges, tune in. Okay. You'll never know who we're having on the show. So until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, stay connected, and go to ilbcc.org and stay membered up. That's right.
That's
Become a
right.
member with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. And if you just want information, you can certainly email us at info@ilbcc.org. I'll see you guys at the senior breakfast, and I'll see you on Monday on the afternoon show with the T. Buchanan. Bye bye for now.
Thanks, guys. Have
Get
a great
ready
one.
to wake up to the pulse of progress as we amplify voices, break barriers, and illuminate the path towards a more inclusive tomorrow. Follow us across the socials at The Wake Up Show Chicago. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It's The Wake Up Show every Saturday morning at 9, where change begins with every sunrise. Welcome to The Wake Up Show Chicago.
That's the end?
The talk of Chicago is